And heads up that we're going to be starting soon. So please have your seats, grab something to eat, and we'll get started. Thank you.
I'm Andrew Brown here with Chris Miller.
Here we are. We're here at the Town Hall Symposium here at Harris Hall on the campus on Old Westbury campus of NYIT.
This event is hosted by SGA, the Student Government Association.
And we got a full house this afternoon. Gates have opened up. Everyone's been kind of flooding in here a little bit. We're here with a lot of faculty and students.
So the students are here today to voice their concerns, say anything they have to say for the advisement to hear, the faculty to hear. So yeah.
Just thank you.
Most of the academic schools in our school are here with representatives. So we have academic school representatives from the architecture programs, engineering programs, health professions, management.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Science.
We also have student life reports from Resident Life.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Students, faculty, and staff, welcome to the Fall 2017 Town Hall Symposium. My name is Melissa Mahadeo, and I'm the Student Government President for the academic year of 2017 to 2018. As always, it is my pleasure to serve as one of the voices of the undergraduate body. Today, we are all gathered here to represent the 5 academic schools here on the Old Westbury campus, as well as not only that, but student life as well. We will be hearing from students representing the School of Architecture and Design, School of Engineering and Computing Sciences, the School of Management, the School of Health Professions, and the College of Arts and Sciences. We will also have students representing Residence Life, the Interfraternity and Sorority Council. Though SGA is the voice of the undergraduate student body, Town Hall is also an event where we have a platform including graduate students. With that being said, we will also be hearing from our Graduate Student Association as well as our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. If you take a look around, you'll notice Globesville in almost every single corner of the room. So thank you, Globesville, for doing an amazing job. Globesville will be streaming live right now, all of Town Hall, as well as reposting it a little later on in the day. They'll also be posting on YouTube highlights of Town Hall. I thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be present here and hearing our students' concerns. We will have our academic reports first, then student life reports, and then we will have an open forum portion for students, faculty, and staff, on which they are welcome to respond to any concerns brought to our attention, as well as any questions that may arise. We will first start off with Brian Johnson, a constituent of the School of Architecture and Design. He will, probably as you guessed, will be reporting on behalf of the School of Architecture and Design.
Thank you, Melissa. We're good? Good. As Melissa said, my name is Brian Johnson. I'm in my 4th year in the School of Architecture and Design. I'm going to be reporting on what we spoke about at the academic forum on behalf of the school. There's 3 main points I want to cover today about the school that came up. Can be generally said as the program itself, the building itself, and then the student life. The program itself, we have fantastic leadership. Our Dean, Maria Perbolini, and Associate Dean, Robert Cody, they're unbelievable in what they do. They're really making fantastic strides in making our school super competitive in the terms of architecture. We have 3D printing technology, laser cutters, and it's all really cutting edge right now. So we're thrilled with that. But one of the issues that does come up with this rise in technology is also it starts to but the professors, they have a little bit of trouble coping with this. So many professors are stuck in the old mindset of architecture, and they're having a little bit of trouble going to this new mindset of really integrating programs into it, especially freshman year. AIAS, the American Institute of Architecture students, I'm the president of that. We've been having to run workshops on our own, which we're very happy with, that we can run these workshops for students. These workshops include learning the programs and learning about the school itself. But one of the things is it feels like the professors rely almost too heavily on just the AIAS to teach them these programs, and that the teachers aren't really taking the initiative to teach the programs themselves. So we're happy with all this technology, but one of the issues is that we need to have better professors that can really teach these programs to the students. And maybe the solution to this is the freshmen that come in to the program, or even upperclassmen. Maybe we could have a 1 week to 2 week program over the summer where we could deal with some of these issues, where the programs get learned before you even come into school. So that way when you start in September, everyone's on the same page. As for the building, last year at Town Hall, one of the things that came up was we had a lot of issues with our building itself. And we're really happy to say that a lot of them got fixed. So one of the things, water fountains, it got fixed 2 days after the last Town Hall last year. We have skylights that were leaking, and a lot of them have stopped leaking now. And the cafeteria, the food options are really good now. We're very happy with that. So thank you for all of that, for listening to what we had to say last year. One of the things that came up with our building, though, and it came up in the academic forum, is we really lack this communal space where we can have workshops hosted. Most times we just have to go into an open classroom, which we're fine with. But it would be really nice if we could have a communal space that we can learn in. So one of the things that we were talking about, I talked to librarians about it last year and again this year, is maybe we could have a conference room put in the library. It would just be a very simple fix, glass walls going up, table, and projector. And what we'd be able to do is we'd be able to host workshops there, AIAS and professors would be able to host there. And it would really be a show to the school itself, is that we're really investing into the students and investing into the library, something that we feel like has been lacking a little bit. As for student life, what I'm going to talk about, it's not just a problem in NYIT, it's a national problem, but there are solutions to it. So students in architecture, they lack sleep, they show signs of depression and anxiety, and a lot of stress. Again, this is not just in architecture, I'm sure this is across many different schools, many different programs, but we wanted to bring this to the attention of everyone in this campus, is that the mental health of the architecture students is starting to fail a little bit, where especially this past year, I've seen a lot more students that they've been coming to me and wanting to just talk to me. They have to have someone to come and talk to. And I'm fine with that. I give them my phone number, I give them my email address. But one of the things that comes up is that these students, they're telling me, they're like, I don't think I can go on anymore. This is really difficult for me. And they're thinking of dropping the program, or they need to seek professional help. So I do the best I can with them, but we really need to have, I think, counseling and wellness go back to Ed Hall at least once a week and be able to talk to these students and help them cope with this. One of the girls who was at our academic forum suggested that we put beds and showers in Ed Hall. And that really made me stop and think, it's like, what are we doing? If we have to have beds and showers and Ed Hall, then there's something wrong with this mentality. If you're thinking that you have to just keep working constantly and keep doing this, it's going to wear on you after a while. And I've seen it. I've been here for 4 years, and I know how it is. But students have to realize that the most important thing for them really is their mental, physical, and social health, and that anything that they do in school or work, it has to come second. They have to put themselves first. So overall, we're extremely happy with the direction the school is heading in. We don't want anyone to get this wrong. We are thrilled with it. We're really making ourselves competitive, and NYIT's name is really getting built up incredibly well. But the only thing we do concern about really is that the health of the students, and we want to make sure that even though the program is pushing really hard for these students, that these students have ways of coping. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Is this working? I think so. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Brian. We'll now be welcoming the Senator for the School of Engineering and Computing Sciences, Sis Ventura.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sis Ventura. I'm the academic secretary of the School of Engineering and Computer Science. From the first year to the last year, students are facing similar issues regarding their experience as engineering students and their experience on campus. However, before I begin speaking about these matters, I will reflect upon the mission statement of the School of Engineering. The School of Engineering and Computer Science, high-quality undergraduate and graduate programs prepare you for advanced studies and challenging positions in business, government, and industry. Based on the concerns brought up in the academic forum, I will be focused on one of the three tenets in this mission: professional preparation of students. Within the mission, the School of Engineering and Computer Science identifies 5 points describing how they will accomplish this mission. We will focus on 2 of these points. Supports faculty members who are effective teacher scholars committed to a student-centered, stimulating learning and research environment, and engages students in applied projects, innovating designs and computer solutions to a real industry. Questions? We can all agree this statement is strong. Based on the feedback from the academic forum, students want to bring the attention to their need to feel more prepared to enter the workforce with having more practical and hands-on experience while at NYT. Students would also like to have more engaging presentations and lectures in classrooms that appeal to their various learning styles. We have great professors who take the initiative to work with their class to identify ways to improve and make courses material interesting and relevant. For example, I made a comment to a professor recently that did not come the way I expected it to. I told him that I was not interested in the class, but I meant to say that the material was not easy to learn. After my class, my professor sent me an email relevant to what I said. The class more relevant, what he quoted is that what I would be interested in learning to make the class more relevant, enjoyable, and valuable for everyone. Those were the exact words of my professor. This is an example of the type of professor we would like to see more in our classes. Professors willing to take the extra step in trying to engage with us and work together to make classroom experience an enjoyable one. This professor demonstrated his care for what his students were thinking and about their classroom experience. Another concern centers around the softwares available in the computer labs for students to complete assignments. The issue is that either the software is outdated or there are different editions of the softwares on the campus computers. This makes it difficult for students to complete assignments. A solution to this problem could be to update the software on the campus computers annually, or to offer the software for engineering students to use their personal laptops or computers at home, take classes requiring the programs. The students will also like to see classes or workshops that added to the curriculum to help prepare them better for their specific careers when they graduate. We understand the career discovery classes are designed to do this. However, students crave more. Students would like a more hands-on work experience. There are numbers of engineering clubs available to the students as well. But not all students are aware of them and are suggesting that clubs promote themselves differently and take the initiative to approach students to let them know the different clubs on campus. It will be great to introduce new students to the workshop space by hosting an open house. It could be intimidating for someone not a member of the club to go into this space. Offering an open house, students are also offering an open house, students are expressed concern regarding these classes which are not being offered that are required. For example, energy systems. Our students are concerned that the classes are not being offered due to lack of faculty available to teach this class. Students would like to see faculty hired to teach the class what they need to graduate. Energy classes are often scheduled for late in the day students. Would like to have options of having courses offered at an earlier time, meaning not at 8, not classes ending around 10 or 8 p.m., which is they consider really late. They have also expressed the desire to the following courses offered: air traffic control, flight simulator, aerodynamics, energy systems, energy design electives, HVAC, labs in places of thermofluid lab material, intro to the field of computer science, lectures, robotics. So an event will help this to introduce students to like different workshops, classes that will prepare them for the future. And I believe that we all should work together to make their desires come true, especially for classes that they would like to see in their curriculum and to prepare them for the future. Because we, the students, we crave more. We want something that will better for us in the real work world. So we, the students, faculty, and administration are in this together. We are NYC School of Engineering and Computer Science. We have a mission, and it's our duty to achieve it. Let us take the first step and make sure our students feel they are being given the quality of education they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. We will now be having Akash Monty reporting on behalf of the School of Health Professions.
Oh man, packed house today, huh? You always sit in the front, you never get to see all that. All right, so my name is Akash Monty. I'm the senator for the School of Health Professions. Today I got 3 points. I'm just going to bring awareness to the school, really. Seems like the School of Health Professions is running like a fine-tuned machine, I guess. We didn't have too many concerns, but what I am going to bring up, the first point, is going to be the new building for the School of Health Professions. All students in the School of Health Professions should have had an email sent out by Stella, who's Dr. Har's assistant. And basically, they have meetings about this school. They want all the students and faculty to attend and, share their opinions. They have a session. The next session is Tuesday, December 12th in room 502 in the 500 building. That's during free hour. And they're just going to talk about thoughts on what you want in the new School of Health Professions. And then they have another meeting. They have 2 meetings. Tuesday, November 21st, which is from 2 to 6 p.m. in Ed Hall. And Tuesday, December 19th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., same thing in Ed Hall. The rooms are to be determined, I guess, and they're just going to talk about the school. So I think this is a great opportunity for students who want to leave their footprint, leave their thoughts about the school. Go down and share your opinions. The next thing I got is orientation for adjunct professors. So at the academic forum that we held the other week, a few of the students were concerned about adjunct professors and maybe having an orientation for them. A lot of these professors either don't use Blackboard, they don't upload their PowerPoints to Blackboard, or they don't send emails through their NYIT account. I mean, personally, it was the thought of all the students that if they come here, they should be using our email and using our ways for our students to succeed. That's what we're used to, right? We're not going to their school. So having an orientation for these professors, and from personal experience, I took microbiology, nothing on Blackboard. If you miss a class, you were out of luck. So the students were hoping that there may be some type of orientation in place for these adjunct professors. To make this short, last thing is change in meal plan system. So we had a Senate meeting a couple Fridays ago. Mr. Rizzuto was there, and we had a nice conversation about talking about meal plans and pricing and all this stuff. And, you know, really, they came back the next week. I couldn't make that meeting, unfortunately, but they came back with changes, and hats off to them for really acting on it and making changes and working with us, you know, and that's how I think we move forward. However, with that being said, we only have one meal plan here. You know, the funds aren't transferable from semester to semester, and you have $1,500 to spend in 3 months. I don't know who eats that much. I mean, I know I eat a lot, but, you know, so, and then what happens, you know, we, as a courtesy from dining, they allow us to buy cases of water and stuff, and which are heavily priced, but we shouldn't be subject to spending our money. You know, the lunch ladies, they always say, like, oh, buy lunch for people and stuff, and, you know, my money shouldn't be subject to that. We should have meal plans, and more so meal plans that transfer from fall to spring. If you don't want to transfer from spring to fall, that's fine, but fall to spring, you know, I think that's fair enough. I mean, you know, like, I take pride in being here. I don't like to say this to break chops and stuff, but really it's about competition. Competition's healthy, and if we're going to compete with other schools, we have to offer something. We're not offering much right now, in my opinion, right? And you look at schools like Stony Brook, they have 12 different meal plans, right? How do you compete with that? And they're all cheaper, you know? So it's really just to get the most bang for your buck, and I think that we should really incorporate more meal plans for the students, especially commuters also. To have $990, you know, look, let's face it, I have class in the main quad here. I'll get something in between class, go to Salton, right? Maybe I'll go to the SAC if I'm feeling up to it and not lazy. And, you know, I'm not going to spend all that money at all these different locations. So, you know, if I could have a plan and put the amount of money that I want to spend on it, I think that would really help the students out. So I think with that, I'm done. I just want to make that short and sweet, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Akash. We'll now be having Alexandra Karnowski, Vice President of Judicial Affairs, and she'll be speaking on behalf of the School of Management.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Karnowski, and I'm the Vice President of Judicial Affairs for the Student Government Association. I was the moderator for the School of Management Academic Forum. We spoke a lot about the School of Management and what students liked and disliked about the school and campus, and I'm here today to share the most important points that were discussed. One of the comments made was that there should be more real-life experience activities and classes that emulate real life incorporated into the semester map. It was suggested that there be more field trip opportunities as well as simulation exercises surrounding management and business. Other comments that were made are ones that we hear year after year, and this is regarding the desks and the lighting on campus. Students do not like the desks and say that there's not enough room for anything more than a notebook. We would appreciate desks that offer a little more space and comfort. As far as the lighting on campus, we just asked if maintenance could please change the bulbs on the light posts that are going out or are already out. A suggestion would be to use LED bulbs and more lighting posts around campus, specifically on the Bears Path and the walk to the parking lots. The LED bulbs would be brighter, last longer, and be more cost efficient. Students would also like to see an increase in the involvement and programming within the School of Management and student life on campus. It would be nice to see more student-centered involvement within the school and more clubs surrounding business and management. This is a great way also to recruit more incoming students who are interested in this field of study. But they may not know that NYIT offers this because management is rarely at any of the orientations or involvement fairs. However, it is concluded that the School of Management is preparing students for their future careers and that they are getting a lot out of the program. A student mentioned that the School of Management was meeting his expectations, and overall the students are very pleased so far with their time in the School of Management. Lastly, if there are any faculty or staff here today from the School of Management, we ask that you help us spread the word about the Spring Academic Forum so we can get a higher attendance and really hear the voices of the students from within the school. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Allie. Next up, we'll be having Ishmael Eiffel, our secretary, and he'll be reporting on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences.
I'm going to stab myself with this. Ooh. Good afternoon, professors, deans, and fellow students. My name is Ishmael, and I had the pleasure of running that College of Arts and Sciences with Jamie Palumbo, our treasurer. Students were quite expressive about their experiences on campus and very eager to share many ideas and issues that they would like to address here at the school. Due to time constraints, I will only address the most pressing matters that the students so eloquently spoke about. First, I would like to address an issue troubling students who are biomedical engineering majors. Why is there no accreditation for this major here at NYIT? The Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, or ABET, provides specialized accreditation for assurances that a college or university program meets the quality standards of the profession for which that program prepares or graduates. As this accreditation would enhance our students' biomedical engineering majors' resumes, they are requesting that our faculty and staff look into it and allow them to receive it. Another topic that is an issue is the need for better lab manuals. Most of our lab manuals that are in circulation now are either very outdated, contain information that is incorrect, or copied booklets that have been stapled together. It's essential that lab manuals are correct and updated and is like a professional document. Don't you think so? Students are paying. But seriously, students are paying for the materials. We should not be given outdated and incorrect materials with the expectation that we gain knowledge and experience from it. Another issue that students brought up was the condition of the lab equipment in our laboratories. We feel that it is imperative for us to have the latest and high-quality science lab supplies. Science is different from any other subject. In order for us to truly understand its concepts, seeing, handling, and manipulating real objects and materials is crucial. The last topic that is an issue for some students is between the biology majors and the BSDO program. Students believe that taking human anatomy should be mandatory for biology majors, as it is for the BSDO program. Students do not understand why it is necessary for them to take comparative anatomy. They would rather take human anatomy instead of comparative, and they would like to see a change or have a discussion about it. We believe that it's time for this change. We think that these issues addressed should not be swept under a rug, and with these changes would further enhance the College of Arts and Sciences as a whole. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ishmael. This concludes our academic reports. We will now begin our student life reports, starting with Christine Wachuku, reporting on behalf of Residence Life.
Hi. Okay. Thank you, SGA, for providing a space to share updates, challenges, and improvements openly to the students, faculty, and staff members of NYIT. My name is Christine Wachuku, an undergraduate student and representative speaking on behalf of the Office of Residence Life and Off-Campus Housing. I would like to commence my address by opening with summer updates, following with improvements, and ending with some challenges. Over the summer, our office was relocated from Boulevard Hall to the Bear Layer. The switch was made to create a more central place for students in our residential area. Spaces in the Bear Layer were converted to study rooms, which students can reserve any day of the week during operating hours. The Bear Layer is not only limited to studying, it is a space to hang out and relax. The former office space located in Boulevard Hall is now the Bears Clubhouse, a full-functioning game room with an air hockey, foosball, and pool table, as well as gaming consoles, which is open nights and weekends for student use. We have also renovated our 2 storefronts. Roosevelt Storefront is now the movie house, where students can watch cable TV, Blu-ray movies, and can also connect their own devices. King Storefront is the multi-purpose room. This room will mainly be used for programming as well as an open space for students. The last space that was renovated over the summer is the Architecture House. It has 9 drafting stations, 2 computers imaged with architecture software, and a plotter. Another project update was our inter-campus shuttle bus service and weekend schedule. Additional slots have been added to the Friday and Saturday schedules to coincide better with class times, and the Sunday schedule has been changed to coincide better with the library times. We communicate with SUNY and NYIT dining services on a regular basis to address student concerns and improve student dining experiences. Our representatives have joined in on bi-weekly meetings with SUNY dining services. Here they share new initiatives, updates, and address any concerns. Moreover, students have expressed acknowledgement of the effort made for programming. Programming is a crucial piece to our department, and our focus is educational, social, cultural, and health and wellness. This semester, we have increased our number of collaborations. We have collaborative programs with campus partners, SUNY partners, and also off-campus entities. We have also changed our methods of advertising. We have moved forward with monthly calendars, posting events to social media, and flyers. We have also decreased the amount of blast emails sent to students. To conclude, I will talk about our challenges. One of the biggest challenges that we face is the physical structure of the buildings. Due to its structure and condition, our maintenance workload has increased significantly. We are in constant communication with SUNY facilities to resolve these complications, and therefore, the maintenance response rate has improved positively. We are working on identifying problem areas when it comes to leaks in the buildings. Residents acknowledge our efforts in working closely with facilities to monitor the places that need immediate attention. Another challenge is poor Wi-Fi connection. There are some days where the Wi-Fi in an entire building just goes out and is very inconvenient to people that are working on different types of projects and homework that they need. And there was also a request for us to be allotted more than 5 devices to connect our Wi-Fi to. The last challenge I will talk about is to have regular maintenance of the washing machines and the dryers that we have on our residence halls. From time to time, we will get the people to come and work on the washing machines and the dryers, but we would like to have this at a regular basis. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Christine. We'll now have Hamna, I'm sorry if I butcher your last name, Manila, to report on behalf of the Interfraternity Sorority Council.
I'm so sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Hamna Aminullah and I am the president of the Interfraternity Sorority Council for 2017-2018 and a founding sister of the NYT colony of Sigma Sigma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Okay. Fraternity and sorority life at NYT Old Westbury has been and continues to be a huge part of community engagement and involvement. We, the Interfraternity Sorority Council, are constantly aspiring to create motivated leaders of tomorrow and to develop a strong community that encompasses the participation of philanthropic, academic, and social efforts. Our purpose is to embrace our strong values of brotherhood and sisterhood, and to reach new expectations by creating a higher set of standards for members of our seven established organizations: Alpha Chi Rho, Delta Epsilon Psi, Di Gamma Omega Xi, Iota Nu Delta, Kappa Phi Gamma, Sigma Sigma Rho, and Tau Kappa Epsilon. Additionally, with the newly established branding of Fraternity and Sorority Life, which includes the Assistant Director of Student Involvement and Leadership Department, Colvin Georges Jr., and Student Assistant for Fraternity and Sorority Life, Asim Sheikh, IFSC has been able to flourish even more with these staff members. Through the hierarchy of establishments, starting with the Fraternity and Sorority Life, then IFSC, followed by the individual Greek organizations, our whole community has been able to create a much stronger and more organized foundation on campus. Starting in the summer, the executive board of IFSC, along with our advisor, Colvin Georges Jr., took on our first major milestone in revamping our chapter accreditation program. Using the foundations laid by last year's executive board, we were able to improve upon our standards for success with a more efficient system of ranking. Overall, our accreditation program is meant to push our Greek organizations to achieve more in all aspects of campus life, including in community engagement, philanthropic efforts, recruitment and retention, traditions and rituals, and academic excellence. The system of ranking includes 9 categories in which there are different levels of achievement. The chapters and colonies are awarded these points to determine their status on campus and amongst each other. Those with the highest points in each of the various categories are awarded accordingly at our end of the year awards banquet.
Along with the implementation of the improved chapter accreditation program, there is a brand new initiative called the Fraternity and Sorority Life Collaterals and Committees. This initiative implements the idea of divide and conquer, meaning that our community can function best when every member puts in effort. In summary, each committee is in charge of different areas of involvement as Greeks, and each committee has a chair to lead the individuals in the groups. The committees were formed based on our Greeks members' preferences and abilities. There are committees for student organization representatives, safety and risk management, social media and marketing, recruitment and retention, end of the year's award banquet, community engagement and collaboration, Greek Leadership Conference, community service and philanthropy, academic excellence, and lastly, Greek Week. The Interfraternity Council has begun its own programs to enhance the presence of the Greek community on campus. This started with our first ever 90s theme Welcome Week. We were the only major organization to host a full week of events to welcome and engage students for the fall 2017 semester. This was comprised of a 90s karaoke, a carnival theme to meet the Greeks, an outdoor movie night, and breakfast with the Greeks. Each of these events showcased the perks of being involved on campus, and students had multiple opportunities to win exciting prizes. This week of events had a great turnout and was an introduction to the new initiatives that our fraternities and sororities have been working on since the summer. Following IFSC's Welcome Week, each organization was given a week to highlight their recruitment weeks, philanthropic initiatives, or general programs. Most of the organizations utilized their weeks for recruitment purposes, while some decided to highlight their philanthropies. Everyone held successful weeks for highlighting their individual organizations and the Greek community as a whole. This year, we had a total of 74 people at the anti-hazing seminar. We also had the largest turnout for Meet the Greeks than we have ever had in the past, and our marketing through social media is stronger than ever. So far, Fraternity and Sorority Life has hosted over 50 events to date, and I would now like to discuss a few upcoming events that the Interfraternity Sorority Council has been working on. Later this evening, we will have our Stay Educated sexual violence prevention screening of the movie Audrey and Daisy in the Bear's Den at 6 o'clock. And on November 14th, we are hosting a bystander intervention training in the 500 building in room 505. The Stay Educated series is an initiative to raise awareness for sexual violence and assault. It began last year when we first held a collaboration between IFSC and SILD for the screening of the hunting ground. This year, we wanted to maintain the same values and lessons that the hunting ground offered, but in a new way. Similar to last year, we are hosting a bystander training with the Safe Center of Long Island to further train individuals to become upstanders when exposed to situations involving sexual or domestic violence on and off campus. Furthermore, our individual Greek organizations are always actively participating on campus each and every week. Throughout the year, each of our organizations hold their biggest signature programs, and we expect this year to be greater than ever. This includes Alpha Chi Rho's It's On Us Week, Delta Upsilon Psi's Stroll for a Cause, Di Gamma Omega Xi's Honors Her, Iota Nu Delta's NYT Notch, Kappa Phi Gamma's Care Week, Sigma Swinger Rho's Six Sigma for Society, and Tau Kappa Epsilon's involvement in the St. Jude's Walk. Because we are so involved and active on campus, we tend to notice many things that can be improved upon that would help us better function as Greek organizations, as well as help other students at NYT Old Westbury. To voice the thoughts and concerns of our Greek community members, I'd like to start off with our lack of storage space. We host huge events and multiple tablings throughout the year, and it is challenging to bring larger paraphernalia like banners or lawn letters every time we partake in something on campus. This is especially a concern because most of the Greek community commutes from various locations around New York and do not have any reliable place to store Greek paraphernalia. We would like to request more storage space for all our organizations. We've also had countless issues when it came to room reservations. There has not been an efficient replacement to help manage the room reservation requests when the main person in charge is absent. This creates issues for us because then we're unable to efficiently plan and advertise the programs or events that we host on time. We ask that we have someone fill in as a replacement when particular people are absent so we're not further delaying our semester plans. Given the reputation that fraternity sororities have nationwide, we as individuals face many challenges in combating these stigmas daily. Our Greek members here at NYT Old Westbury work very hard to improve these stigmas, yet there are still many obstacles that we can encounter. We realize that wearing letters brings attention to ourselves, which sometimes causes negative reactions. This is upsetting because we're proud to represent the positivity that our organizations bring to our campus. We wanted to mention that faculty and even some students discourage involvement in Greek life due to the false stigma of Greek members not putting their academics first. We have initiatives put in place to help fight these stigmas. This includes the implementation of the Academic Improvement Program, Academic Success Seminar, in collaboration with the Enrollment Services Center and the Academic Excellence Committee. which involves students taking the lead in enforcing importance of education. Additionally, our Greeks are required to maintain high levels of academics in order to be active members. Our current community average GPA is a 3.03. There is even a requirement that first semester freshmen interested in joining an organization must have a cumulative high school GPA of 3.0 or 83%. Thus, the whole notion that Greeks do not prioritize school is incorrect, and it tends to hurt our recruitment as well. In the future, we will be pushing our Greek members to strive even further, but we ask that the rest of our NYT community be active in helping combat these negative stigmas against us and help us highlight all the great things that we do. On behalf of the entire fraternity and sorority community, I would like to thank you all for listening. We have come so far, and every semester brings forth new opportunities for us to grow and achieve even more than we have already. The support that we have been receiving from our campus advisors, staff, and even everyone in this room has played a huge part in helping us become what we are today. We hope to work with you all in the future, and we look forward to your support. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Hubna. We will now welcome Haley Gilmore, representing the Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
Okay, so like she said, I'm Haley Gilmore. I'm a member of the NYT Women's Volleyball team, and I am here to represent the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. One of the biggest challenges we face as student athletes is our incredibly busy schedules. It's not uncommon for me to have 8 a.m. workout, 8:30 class, go back and finish my workout, go to lab, go home, go back to the dorms for maybe an hour, and then go straight back to practice. In fact, just to give you an idea of how insane a day is, I had an 8 o'clock conditioning, 8:30 class, went back and finished conditioning, went back to the dorms briefly, came back for another class, went to practice, had to be back at school at 6:45 a.m. the next day, and this was my birthday. There are no days off for a student athlete. Even if you don't have a scheduled practice, you're expected to be in the gym, improving yourself. And we are students first, but oftentimes it's hard because we are such a small school. There are limited classes, so it is incredibly difficult. If you ask any student athlete, they can give you at least one example of a class that they couldn't take, had to take online, had to take during the summer, or at their own expense because it was only offered at a time that overlapped with their practice schedule. So, if we're truly being student athletes, we need to have a greater focus on our academic integrity. So like I said, I'm on the women's volleyball team, and we generally practice from 5:30 to 7:30, which can be difficult timing-wise because the SAC closes at 6 or 7 or whenever it closes, and then all SUNY dining options close at 8, so it's entirely possible for us to completely skip that. And we understand that staffing is an issue, that it isn't financially viable to have a full staff there, but just like a person with sandwiches, like just so we can eat, because I am hungry all the time. In addition, all of our spaces are small and outdated, and they're shared between everyone. Part of the reason that practices have to go so late, sometimes cheer doesn't get out until 11 because it's men's basketball, women's volleyball, women's basketball, then cheer, is because we all have to share the same space. There's not a weight room just for students, and there used to be, but that was small and cramped, and you couldn't even fit the whole baseball team in there. And I do understand that this is an expensive fix, and it's a very large problem. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of it. In addition, there is a lot of difficulty getting involved on campus. Even though I am a member of SGA, I often have difficulty getting to meetings because they start at 1:30 and I have yoga until 2, so I have to sprint and change really fast and then sprint back and then sprint and go back to practice. It's a huge inconvenience, and so many events are scheduled during practice times because that's generally when people don't have classes. But it is a challenge for us, and that also contributes to the perceived athlete, non-athlete divide, because it is so hard for us to get involved in things other than sports. So most of the time, I'm sure you could ask any student here, you walk into the SAC or into Salton and you see athletes here, non-athletes here. There's not a whole lot of intermixing because those are the people we were forced to spend, not forced, that we end up spending most of our time with between practices and dorming together, and just it's someone who understands the struggle. And I think men's basketball did a really good job of setting an example by having their open practice so an average student could see, like, hey, student athletes get to complain about having a rough life because sometimes it is hard. But other than that, I think that the school is doing a really good job of helping us academically. Volleyball, I know I can't speak for other teams, but we consistently have a majority of our members make the AVCA academic honor roll for having GPAs above, I think it's a 3.0. We are an academically strong school, and we're here because we're dedicated to be both students and athletes, and we just want to get as much support as possible in pursuing both avenues simultaneously. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Haley. We will now have Pranati Mathur report on behalf of the Graduate Student Association.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, SGA, for giving us a forum to share our concerns. Hello all, my name is Pranati Mathur and I'm the Secretary for Graduate Student Association for 2017 and 2018. This semester, we did our academic forum online. We are excited to report that our students feel a sense of community within their programs and are excited about their curriculums and feel the site placements are a great learning environment. Students are concerned that some of the buildings, such as the 500 building, has a lack in technology in the classrooms. Students are also concerned how some field supervisors can be perceived as unprofessional in certain settings. Students have also raised a concern about an NYIT shuttle from the Hicksville train station. The shuttle only runs 3 times a day, that is 9 a.m., 5 p.m. and 8:40 p.m. There are not enough shuttles at the times that make sense for students. When classes get out at different times or students work on campus, it makes it difficult to get to our campus. Finally, campus lighting. Many of the non-clinical programs have courses at night, ending between 8:30 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. Our campus lighting is dim and raises concerns while people walk to their cars. If students drive to Ed Hall or Mitch Carr, there is not a single street light on the path. Students want to feel safe, and that is a safe place to walk without the concern of using their cell phones as flashlights. It is a consistent concern and has to be taken seriously. Students want to be comforted in the idea that when they step out of a building, they know they will be able to see what is in the parking lot and what they're going to walk into. Thank you for listening to us. We look forward to your feedback.
That was really fast. Thank you, Pranati. We will now have an open floor for any questions or concerns that students, faculty, and staff would like to address or arise.
Good afternoon. I'm Robert Rizzullo, the Director of Dining Service. I just wanted to, first I'd like to commend you on this forum that you put together and the professional way that you have expressed yourselves each time we come here. I've spoken to a lot of my colleagues. You really need to come to this forum because you do a really wonderful job, so congratulations on that. So I want to talk about a few of the things that were brought up today. Let's start with the comment on some of the changes that we've made. The only reason that we've made those changes is because that you've communicated to us some of the challenges or the needs that you've had that we haven't been able to meet. We meet with students now regularly, and we're going to develop a food service advisory committee so we can have these meetings and you can have more say. We could talk a little bit about some of the challenges, hours of operation, meal plan, things like that. So we're in the process of trying to get those groups together with 3 different groups here at NYIT. So we hope that that will take off and you'll participate in that so we can continue this moving forward. So let's talk a little bit about the meal plan and the rollover. Thank you for the question. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. We took it seriously. I went back to budget, went back to the controller's office, and we talked a little bit about it. Did some research as well, and I think what part of the challenge that we have here in doing the research is that these other colleges have a dining hall, and where you're able to, from what I understand, go in and have a meal swipe with all-you-can-eat meal swipe. Chef Brian and I had looked at trying to do some type of all-you-can-eat, but we're retail, and it's so difficult to do that because it's so, and then you have dining bucks, I think, that do roll over at SUNY, from what I understand as well. We've had both sides of the spectrum. I certainly understand if you have a lot of money on your card and you can't use it all, you can't eat that much. So what we're going to do is we're going to look closely at that, and I think that's the point we may be able to work with budget on, and maybe offer a plan that you can choose. I'm not sure, I'm not saying that we can do it yet, but I want to tell you that we are looking into it and we take it very seriously, and we do understand. As far as the cases, towards the end of the semester, we're working on, and we will communicate to you that we'll have a more viable option for you, and more, so it's not, cases awarded $50 a case and things like that you've mentioned. So we will get back to you on that as well, and we will communicate out to you where we'll have that available to you. I also want you to know that at SUNY, we met last year, and we talked a little bit about this, that sometimes you have to go out and spend your own money to buy cases of water and food to bring back to your dormitories. So we did start a program last year where we have water available, or we'll have water available for you so you can take it off your card and use it here. So let's communicate a little bit more about that as well. Let's talk about the athletes and the hours of operation in the SAC. I'd like to ask Melissa, my colleague who's here today, to get your email address and your contact information, and maybe I have a few ideas, possibly the hours of operation, but I think we just need to sync on when your schedules are where you're late. It's terrible that you have all this meal plan, you're in SUNY, it's closed, you hear it's closed, how are you going to eat? So we'll certainly come to some kind of a solution for that as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something you didn't bring up today, but I've been talking about it in each meeting that I've been asked the question. Flex funds that have been taken away from your meal plan. That didn't come up today. I was very surprised. Maybe I've talked to everybody so far, but let me, in this forum, let me clarify what happened there. So many years ago, 5 years ago, somebody had this idea of taking $125 out of the meal plan and using it for flex funds. Well, I'll tell you what happened is that we were breaking state law by doing that, okay? It was a state law that we were not allowed to take that money from meal plan, because meal plan is tax-free. The money that came out for flex and being used was not supposed to be. So I think everybody understands when it comes to the law is the law, but I think what happened there is, and I want to apologize to you for this, is that it wasn't communicated to you. You kind of got blindsided by it. So I want to apologize. I take full responsibility for the communication of not being open about that. But I think I've touched pretty much everybody that has had that question. So I think you understand why, but the communication piece, and we'll try to communicate more clearly to you on things moving forward. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions for campus dining?
In the back.
So my question is, if the money can't roll over into the next semester, is there any way we can be refunded whatever's left over?
The answer to that is no. And I'm just going to be honest with you about that. But as I said, since the question has come up, we're going to look at possibly at least looking at other options and not saying no to all the questions about, how much do we have on our card and everything. But I will tell you that we are taking it seriously, and we are going to, in the budgetary process, just see if there's any other options. As I said, we're restricted by the fact that not having that dining hall piece and being able to allow you to go through and just, all kid eat. We also have a budget as well. So when we create our budgets and we have staff and we have food expenses, we take all that into consideration when we do budget. But again, like I said, we will look at any other option that's possible before we put that to bed.
Hi. Okay, that works. So are you familiar with how SUNY Westbury does their dining options? I suppose I'm not really sure, but us who live at the residence halls do get about $50 towards their bookstore, and we also have a meal plan with them. So I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I might be thinking about something else, but are you familiar if that's a possibility for NYT?
I am very familiar with it because we researched it. I'm sorry I'm looking this way. I'm trying to talk into the microphone.
No problem.
The only way to be able to do that, because it's taxed, is that right now you have to purchase your flex funds separately. And that's the only way because of the tax piece on that. So there is absolutely no way that you can put the meal plan and take $50 away. As I said, maybe there's other options that we can look at, but at the time being, no. The answer to that is no as well.
Okay, thank you.
I apologize that has to be my answer, but.
Senator Bonte.
Mr. Rizzuto, so I'm having a little trouble understanding how the 125 was taken out because it's not taxed, right? So when we purchased this one mandatory meal plan for roughly $2,500 at the beginning of the semester, none of that is taxed, or is it? Because now what happens is if the meal plan's good to go right away, then we're not getting charged tax, right? And the flex funds are already on the card, so the card shouldn't be taxed. So, like, are we paying tax on the $2,500, or, I mean, I'm just having trouble understanding how that.
Barbara, our controller, is going to answer the question for you.
Okay, I guess this is on. Robert had me start reviewing these issues earlier this year. So part of the issue is that under New York State law, if you have a meal plan that is offered at a college or university where it is you don't pay at the time you are being served the meal. So basically what is the equivalent of a meal swipe in a dining hall, that is not taxable. And we here have allowed it back for this campus to cover meals that are on your purchased meal plan. But the money can't be refundable at the end. The problem with the flex funds being part of that same package is that flex funds were also being available to be used for purchases in the bookstore, for example. Students could use it not just for food, but they could use it for sweatshirts, they could use it for books, and those items are taxable. They were using financial aid dollars, some of them federal financial aid dollars, for flex. In some cases, those were funding their flex funds, and those were ineligible items under under scholarship provisions. So we really had to separate the two. Your flex funds can be added when as a separate item. When you use flex funds, those purchases are subject to sales tax. If you use your regular dining dollars, those are considered part of a meal plan and are not subject to sales tax.
Okay, so why wasn't the $125 tacked on to the $990, which is an eligible purchase without tax?
Because we couldn't package them together. There were too many students who were obtaining them by use of, were paying for them through the application of scholarship funds that weren't actually eligible to be paying for them. Okay.
I'll talk to you after.
Okay.
Akash mentioned that our students are invited to meet to give input on a new building. I just want to acknowledge that these meetings are in conjunction with School of Architecture. This is a program where the students from School of Architecture are actually designing the building. So the students will be showing what they're working on, both students from School of Health Professions and School of Architecture. So I just wanted to acknowledge all the wonderful work that they've done up till this point.
Thank you, Dr. Har.
Hi, everybody. I am Diamanda Accentiu. I am from the School of Management. I would like to thank the students for bringing to our attention your concerns. I would like to assure you that I'm going to put them on the agenda of the next leadership meeting, and we're going to discuss that. But it seems to me that some of these issues that you raised, we're already addressing them in the School of Management. For example, we do have field trips. We do have life experience, education, approaches to the teaching. We do have clubs like the Law Club, the Accounting Club, the Hostures Club on the Old Westbury campus. And also we have a student advisory board, which also meet with the dean periodically, and they bring their concerns and issues to the dean. Nevertheless, I heard you today clearly, and I will follow up with your concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Gabby?
I have a question about the number of students who were in attendance at the Academic Forum for School of Management. What I was hearing was a lack of connection with what we're doing collectively for all of our student leaders and all of our students on campus and what's happening at the School of Management. So I was just curious about the total number of attending students. Alex. One? Okay, thank you.
Maybe we have a big number of our students, I believe they are athletes. And maybe because of the athlete, as we heard earlier, they are very busy. Maybe that's why. I think on the Old Westbury campus, a big percentage of the business students, they are athletes.
I think this is something we can work together, student life and School of Management, so that our students are getting that opportunity to voice their opinions, and we can do that offline. But hearing that, I picked that up, that it sounded like you were speaking for a very small amount of the students, and we want this forum to be comprehensive and inclusive. So we'll talk about that offline.
Thank you, Dr. Gabby. Yolani?
Hi everyone, my name is Yolani Ganel. I serve as the new director for Campus Life, and I work alongside with Dr. Gabby, Victoria Ferris, Marisol, Bazil, Colvin Georges, and Deandra and Joanna, and a number of other people. We're really excited to be here. This has been an amazing turnout, and so I applaud the students for your dedication and commitment. Our focus this year has been a cutting edge around student inclusion and the sense of engagement and connection that you have here. So we are listening and we're taking down everything. I know that SGA, you have been a tremendous force for our campus, and so have our IFSC leaders. We wanted to thank you for shouting out the week of welcome efforts that we piloted this year. And that's part of our efforts to address the gaps in programming that we had received from last year. And so things that we've been doing so far in terms of campus-wide initiatives is thinking about ways that we can enforce or implement new strategies around traditions and campus pride. And so we will be working with our councils and our student groups to better define those. One of the things that we didn't hear at this space that I wanted to name are the experiences of our veteran students. And so we have a number of non-traditional students at this campus that are largely invisible, but that have done great work for our communities and have a huge impact on our campus. So I invite you to help us recognize their efforts with appreciation cards that we have up front, and also join us for the veteran pancake breakfast that we have on Friday from 9 to 12. This is complimentary and it will be in the Bear's Den. Along with this, one of the things that you should know, we heard you about reservations. This is an ongoing and persistent issue that we are trying to find creative solutions for. Right now, it's no secret that in the interim, we have a graduate assistant who is committed to 12 hours a week in our office to help with reservations. Deandra in the last few months has done well over 600 room reservations during their college free hour. We're also helping students manage their planning and organizing events through an event registration form. So our goal right now is to fill the part-time position. It's only 30 hours a week. And so that is a bit challenging. Our hope is that we can make that a full-time position. But as things stand, it's something that we won't be able to accomplish this year. So keep advocating for this, and we'll continue to work towards it. So thank you so much for this time, and I appreciate you sharing.
Thanks, Yolani. And we're going to go to Deandra.
Hi. I just wanted to piggyback quickly off what Yolani said about the Veterans Pancake Breakfast tomorrow. Just a quick note, up at the front on your way out, we have thank you notes for the veterans. They're blank. If you could just write a couple words and leave them there so we can display them in the sack, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deandra. We're going to go to Dr. Silverstein, and then we'll go to the back. Press the red button.
I'm director at the Math Center. Brian, right, highlighted the lack of sleep and the general anxiety, and I just thank you for mentioning that. It's all coming into the national news, and we, in the Math Center, we're very much aware of it. Students say, I studied so hard, and they'll confide to us, oh yes, I studied really hard, I went to sleep at 3 a.m., and no wonder they can't do the math in the morning. So we're very much aware of it, and anything that anyone can do to help students with time management or other mental health issues, I think will be best for everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Silverstein. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm on the women's basketball team here. Just like two things I want to bring up. I'm a part of the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm studying advertising and public relations, and something I noticed is that there's not a lot of PR courses. I've only taken one. It's like an introductory course into public relations. So like advertising courses play a lot heavier on my semester map. The only other public relations course was a graduate level course, so I was kind of hesitant to take that class. And another thing I kind of want to bring up is, as a student athlete, I'm here the whole winter break. So we live in one of the athletic buildings as well as other students, and kind of we're like the only team kind of there, I would say. A lot of other teams have their own houses, they live off campus and stuff like that. And I had brought this up last year to the compliance coordinator that was here about the policy where the athletic department isn't allowed to write refund checks in order for us to, say, use our own scholarship money if we wanted to get an apartment right down the street or in Glen Cove. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to bring it up here or somewhere else, but I think that exploring the opportunity would kind of either help out a lot of athletes or just make their experience just a little bit better. But thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any other? Tina Nid.
Sorry, there you go.
I'm Maria Perbellini, the Dean of the School of Architecture and Design, and I would like to say really thank you to Brian and your team for putting together such a list of insightful observations that are actually very important for our school and our community. As you know, in 1 year, so a very short time, we were addressing the culture of the school. And part of the culture of the school is also health issues for you students that are living in the school constantly, almost on a 24-hour cycle. And I was myself a student of architecture many years ago, so it's really part of architecture culture. And I wonder if we are ready to discuss about that seriously and what can be changed. If you feel so sick about it, there is something wrong there. So are you open to have a conversation with me seriously about how to address this issue? Because we are keeping talking about it, but at the end of the day, what can we do to improve your situation, right? Is it time management the problem? Is it because you work, you have something else to do, extra your classes? Is it because you are part of this idea that you have absolutely to work at night? And maybe it's not really true. Maybe It's not required, right? We don't require you to work at night. So maybe we can actually have a discussion about what to do. Because I don't have an easy solution, but maybe together we can find a solution. The other thing is the faculty. Yes, the school is going into a new direction, and it's encouraging for me that you are actually talking about that and you are enthusiastic about that, because without your engagement in that change, my job doesn't have any sense. So, I welcome your ideas, and yes, it's a process. We cannot arrive to have every single faculty embracing that from one day to the other. We need to convince them that this is the right thing to do and engage them in our vision. And not everybody are computerized and computationally savvy. This is the reality. But they do other things maybe better than that. They have experience. They have a great knowledge in other fields, in other expertises that they can bring to the computational world. So as you know, we hire new faculty. They are all experts in digital design, in digital technologies, in building technologies, advanced building technologies. We are hiring new faculty again this year. So there is a process there that is not just one faculty, two faculty, but is the whole school that is actually ready for the change. And this is the most important part. So we'll take some time, but I'm very optimistic that we can engage those faculty with the new faculty and together maybe working in a mixed team of expertises that can benefit each other. So, all positive. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Haji.
Just want to address on behalf of Life Sciences, since all 4 complaints for the College of Arts and Sciences related to Life Sciences, our chair could not be here today, so I'm kind of responding to your comments. So the first comment was basically about the ABET accreditation for the biomedical engineering program. Typically, engineering programs are accredited by ABET through the School of Engineering. So our BME program resides in the College of Arts and Sciences, so this is an obstacle, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to overcome this, but we will certainly try and perhaps work with the School of Engineering to create maybe a joint program so we can get it accredited. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, if I remember back, the lab manuals, right? And I will go back to the department and have a discussion with our faculty and see if we can update our lab manuals. The third comment was the instrumentation in the lab. Certainly, every year we are given a certain amount of money by the universities called capital budget, and maybe we can put it part of our capital budget to obtain new instruments for our laboratories. And the last part was the, let's see if I remember it. Oh, yes, the anatomy, right? So students said that they would like to have human anatomy. The problem why we have comparative anatomy, which is not a problem, is because comparative anatomy is required by many medical schools, not just human anatomy, and it actually gives you a more depth and breadth of the field. Okay, so that's why we have that as part of our curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. H.
I just wanted to bring up one concern. I mean, it was a concern that was previously brought up during last semester's town hall, that Salton Cafe did not have a water fountain, but over the summer the school worked towards it, and we now do have a new automatic refilling water fountain. Excuse me. But another thing that I would like to bring to light is all the old water fountains, the water that comes out of it is not clean. There's always particles in it, and if you fill it through a see-through bottle, you would not want to drink it. So I want to throw it out there so that someone could make some changes to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasi. Do we have any other questions, comments, concerns? Yes, go ahead.
My name is Ilaha Jarilova, and I am first-year student at NYIT, and I'm international student. When I looked at the topics that's going to be discussed, I saw maybe all of the departments except international education and international students office. because I think the majority of students here at NYIT is international, and there's really less attention to them. They are all coming from different places, and I guess NYIT doesn't care about what they are doing outside the NYIT. It's only the classes and the money that's taken, and that's it. And I don't see any attention to them, like how they go to their home, what do they do outside the NYIT, because we are coming here only for NYIT. We don't have any family here, any relatives, or any place to go outside. And there are many concerns I want to bring up, and one of them is like our professors. Most of the time I'm so busy. I'm not an athlete, but I work on campus and outside, and I do my studies because I'm in life sciences and physician assistant program. I need to study hard, and what my professors is doing, they are just going through the slides without interfering with students. And what I end up with is self-study. And I don't know then why I'm here, why I'm in college, and why I need professors if there are slides posted on the blackboard and I can have them and study by myself at home without coming to the college. Because professors are just standing by the slides and going through them like an audio book, and I'm about to fall asleep. That's the main concern I have on education. And secondly, I would like the people in NYIT to be more considerate about the people. For example, what I see is cars just passing by. I don't know who they are driving to, or like, I don't care about that. But the problem is if it's empty, if you have a space next to you, just stop by the students and ask them if you are going towards that direction, because it's really cold to walk from Sultan to library. I just freeze, and I don't really want to go that, even SAC, I'm not talking about it, because that building I really rarely visit, only for international education office to discuss my problem, but not to dine. And I think I haven't even did any lunch or dinner at NYIT because it's so expensive, and I don't even want to look at the meal plan. And I'm commuting here from Leviton. I daily take 2 buses. And you know what they tell me? Do not stand at Hicksville train station late night because it's dangerous. And what can I do if I have evening class lab? What will the NYIT do if something happened to me outside? Is there anyone to take care of me? No, I guess. And one more concern I have, which is, yesterday I faced this situation in the financial aid office. She's a wonderful woman. She helped me a lot. I know it's not her business to do some kind of help to me. But what she told me is that without paying your balance for fall semester, you cannot register for the classes in the spring. And I said, why? Because she said you need to pay first to get education. Like you can to have your home, you need to pay first. Like she compared to something that's really, like I was saying, is home, car more important than education and more important than money. I said I came here a long way, like I came here from Azerbaijan. I took 14 hours flight alone. I'm not 18. And I came here only for NYIT to get my education. And she told me that you cannot enroll in your classes because money comes first, then education. And when I heard this, I was really broken by the dream I had, because I thought NYIT is not a university who's based on finance. I thought it's a university who's investing on his or her students to bring up a better future. Before coming to NYIT, I was searching about the NYIT, of course, and one comment I came across, and I still don't want to believe, is that NYIT is a university who is caring about the money that students bring and their education and their problems. I still don't want to believe. I saw that comment. I am still here. So I hope this is going to change soon. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for providing us a full understanding
you have, and you were brave and courageous enough to speak up in this forum. I am, by law of numbers, believing that you're not the only one. That's one. And I am Dr. Gabby, who we are supposed to be meeting.
You suggested we should talk to you, and she suggested me to talk to Bella's office because I was having a depression, I guess, according to her.
So we are going to talk one-on-one, and I know that it's being scheduled through Anne-Marie, my assistant. I'm on both campuses. I'm going to make it a point that we talk. Because now I hear your full story outside of the little snippet that I received.
I would love to tell you my full story.
So we'll discuss it. The other thing I want to let you know is rules and regulations are what they are, and policies are therefore a reason. We need to look at those, and we are examining them as an institution as we're going through several iterations of change, at the top level down to the experiences that you're having.
I really understand the rules and policies, but the problem is I am coming from a different country where currently to find $1 the bank doesn't give you.
I'm not saying that our I don't want to cut you off, but I don't want to get combative because we are going to talk about this one-on-one. But when I said that, I wasn't saying that as if they need to stand the way that they are. I said that to say that they need to be examined so that the student experience that we are having and you all are experiencing, not just you but the other students who have not spoken up, are experiencing that are negative. We have to take that into account as we move forward and say we are a student-centered institution. If that is the case, then your story and all the other stories, and not just stories but experiences, needs to be taken into consideration. So you will be heard. We will go through it one at a time and figure out what we can and just cannot do and move you forward. That's the best that I can offer as Dean of Students. So we will meet.
We have one last comment, and then we'll be wrapping up. So for our comment in the back, go ahead.
Thank you. This is Rosemary Brewski. I'm the Senior Director of Financial Aid. So if you had that type of experience, I apologize. What I'd like to ask you to do after you're done with Gabby is to come into the financial aid office, and whoever you spoke to will have a meeting. In fact, I see Aljan right in front of you. And he knows the financial aid office, so we do absolutely deal with international students all the time. And I do want you to know, we are limited in what we can do, but whatever we can do, we will work with you. I lived in Hicksville. I know the area. I can understand. I have many people I know in Levittown. I understand the commute. I understand public transportation. So there are options, but you know, it's your daily life is challenging, and I'm not denying that. That is something that we'll do. We'll work with Gabby, we'll work with whoever we have to see that we can mitigate some of these things that are upsetting you so much. It's not right that you should be that upset. So please, when you're done, if you want to come into the financial aid office, when we're done, and we're on the side of the main student area right here in Harry Shaw. So come in and we can have a discussion, or if you want to meet with Gabby first, okay? Sure.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out today, listening, and speaking on behalf of our students. I'd like to give a special thank you to our hardworking executive board and senators, Campus Life, SILD, Communications and Marketing, Campus Dining, and Globesville.
So we along with you concerns regarding student issues from the multiple academic and student life. Very popular topic on GA and have been the undergrad or graduate programs. It was great to hear from both undergrad and graduate programs on their affairs and concerns, and the faculty seemed to be really optimistic and enthusiastic about handling the topics that everyone was going through. They also were, all right, we're going to turn it over to Andrew right now, so he's got an interview waiting for us.
So that was the end of the town hall symposium. I'm here with Dr. Lou Ramesh. How'd you feel about the event?
I thought it was a very good event. It's wonderful to have students to be able to express their concerns, to express what they like, what things are working for them, what's not working for them. I noticed that there's a good representation of both faculty and administrators in the audience, and they're hearing these words, and it allows us to improve the student experience for our students.
Okay, cool. So something that was talked about today was student stress and how they manage with classes and whatnot, and everything else they have to deal with, college, typical college things. Do you have any advice for students with juggling everything on their plate?
It's tough to be a student. It was tough when I was a student. It's even worse today because most students have jobs. And, you know, we recognize that it is tough. And the best advice I have for students is to take care of yourself. Put yourself first. Make sure you get your sleep. Make sure you get your, your meals. And take care of yourself. We are working with the faculty to create more flexible learning experiences, to have more of lectures recorded, available to students if you happen to not be able to make it to class, to at least to have the slides available on Blackboard so that the students can, live your life first and then be a student second.
I wanted to ask you, actually, what can we do about classes? And as a student myself, I have problems with the way they offer some classes. Like, some classes may be canceled. For example, this semester I had a class, it was canceled last minute. So what can we do about things like that happening?
Well, it's one of the things that I've been working on is to make sure that the classes are not canceled, that if the students show up, that the students should have an instructor in front of them and have that chance to interact with their instructor and learn. And so we're looking to get our department chairs to be much more on top of the situation that classes do take place when they're supposed to be taking place.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh.
Okay, thank you very much. And good luck with your studies and good luck to all the students.
Thank you.